The war in Bosnia and Herzegovina was an international armed conflict that took place between 1992 and 1995. This war was part of the breakup of Yugoslavia, a socialist federation of six republics: Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Slovenia, Macedonia, and Montenegro. A common perception among Western politicians was that the reason for conflict was age old hatred between the different ethnic groups in the region. Domestically, however, the picture was more complex than that. Although ethnic hostilities grew through the war years, accounts of pre war life in Bosnia were characterized with multi ethnic coexistence, material as well as social security. Witnesses put an emphasis precisely on the mutual respect for the ethnic and religious differences in the way their different groups coexisted. In pre war Yugoslavia, there was a Marxist feminist ideology present, so women were relatively equal to men in their pay and type of work and other areas of social life. However, as the nationalist sentiments were rising, the result was an attempted archaization that included the reinforcement of traditional conservative and patriarchal relations and gender roles within the family. In June 1991, after referendums were both in Croatia and Slovenia made, both republics declared their independence. Bosnia and Herzegovina followed suit in March 1992, and war broke one month after. Bosnia was multi-ethnic, inhabited by Muslim Bosniaks, Orthodox Serbs, and Catholic Croats, so its referendum for independence was not welcomed by the political representatives of Bosnian Serbs, who boycotted it, led by Radovan Karadzic, and supported by the Serbian government of Slobodan Milosevic, together with the Yugoslav People's Army. They have mobilized their armed forces inside Bosnia and Herzegovina with an aim to secure ethnic Serb territory, and the war soon spread all across the country. This war, marked by the systematic use of rape and sexual violence as weapon of demoralization against the ethnic groups, although this was not uncommon, the international attention the case received was extraordinary, and it led to a degree of openness about the phenomenon that has historically been hidden with shame. According to the Helsinki Watch report from 1993, there were different ways in which rapes were carried out in different regions of Bosnia. This included rape camps, concentration camps, attacks in people's homes, and organized facilities made to appear as brothels. While sexual violence was used as a war strategy by all sides in this conflict, the great majority of rapes were perpetrated by Serb forces of Army of the Republika Srpska and the Serb paramilitary units against the Muslim population of Bosnia. Rape was used as an instrument in order to humiliate or destroy the identity of the victim, but also to demasculinize the Bosniak men, who were called to fight while women were taking care of the home and family, and therefore weren't able to protect their family and their homes. This traditional division of labor created an increased gender polarization in Bosnia, which allowed attacks on current and future family formations. The estimates of women raped during the Bosnian War ranged between 10 and 50,000. Furthermore, the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, known as well as the ICTY, has declared that systematic rape and sexual enslavement in time of war was a crime against humanity, second only to the war crime of genocide. However, although ICTY did not treat these cases as genocide, many have characterized the intention to attack female victims exclusively because of their ability to bear children was a genocidal intention, because the aim of perpetrators was to create more babies with the perpetrator's ethnicity, and through this, erase and destroy the ethnic, religious, and national identities of their victims. Using forced impregnation as a combat strategy has put female body as another battlefield where ethnic conflict could be fought. Also, the team of European community investigators, as well as Amnesty International and Helsinki Watch, have concluded in 1993 that the case of war rapes in Bosnia was not a secondary effect of the conflict, but part of the war strategy and systematic policy of ethnic cleansing. Moreover, a lesser known form of sexual violence was perpetrated against boys and men, but no concrete numbers exist in this case, and it has been estimated that around 3,000 of rape cases occurred during war years against men. It is assumed that hundreds or thousands of victims have never come forward due to their deaths or stigma regarding sexual abuse. In the aftermath of the conflicts, ethnic identity has now a much greater social relevance than in pre war Bosnia. In the past 4 years, all ethnic groups in Bosnia have been struggling to move past this collective tragedy of war. Women who have witnessed rape crimes are either identifying themselves as ethnic survivors or gendered victims. It is commonly thought that raped women in traditional patriarchal families are often stigmatized by their families and further penalized by society. However, in Bosnia, the impact of war rapes is slightly different from those expectations. Many victims have decided to speak up, demanding justice in international courts and finding their families as a source of support. Their trauma, however, has destroyed their female identities, their sexual abilities, and caused special cases of PTSD. Rape in war is an extension of the powerlessness and subordination women experience in the peacetime, and in the war times they go from virgins to victims to being damaged goods and forgotten. Unless recognized as a recurring pattern, there is a possibility to have more women in the future becoming cases in war rape statistics. And for the end, here is a photograph of Sarajka woman taken by English photojournalist Tom Stoddart, created in 1994 in Dobrinja. While dressed as on a catwalk and with head held high past the shelter with sandbags. This image has become known around the world, and Melija, the woman in the picture, has never even known that she was photographed. At the time she passed the shelter with sandbags, shooting started, but she continued to walk. Stoddard later, when the photography of Melika Verashanovic became popular, tells how he was scared of the shooting, so he laid down in the shelter with sandbags. But she walked proudly, her head held high, and had lipstick, high heels, and colorful dress.